now that you've been here for 6 weeks, obviously I can speak Australian, right? You understand everything that I'm going to say, right? Tidak perlu pakai penerjemah kan? But one thing I want to comment, and I think Tracy Hayes mentioned it quite well. As you graduate from your universities, as you begin to enter the real world, find a job, get married, build a family, impress your father-in-law, your mother-in-law, you know, you might be distracted. But the truth of the matter is, if not most Indonesians, or many, all Indonesians don't have what you have. You've had 6 weeks of training in the outback. I want to share with you is this. As you experience the last few days of being in Darwin and you really experience what it's like to be a cattleman, as Tracy Hayes mentioned earlier, please know that we're facing a new situation. A situation where your country is growing very, very fast. And your country has 240 million people. And your country is going to have more middle-income people demanding more meat. And unfortunately, most Indonesian students don't realize how difficult that is. And one thing that we can be all proud of is that through this Indonesia-Australia Red Meat and Cattle Cooperation, it is quite a unique cooperation between two countries. Nowhere else in the world, only Indonesia and Australia have this kind of cooperation. It's a very important endeavor since 2011, but what it does really say, it said that both our countries are looking into the future. And if I might scare you a bit, the future is difficult. Difficult because as more of Asian countries want to eat more, eat beef, eat all forms of poultry, the industries are not ready. And we know for a fact Indonesia has a long way to go. You might know that with President Jokowi, we want to have swasembada pangan. Inshallah we'll get there. But the word inshallah, there's a lot of things to prepare. We have to have infrastructure, we have to have education, we have to have finances, and we have our close friends, the Australians, who've been doing it for decades. But at the end of the day, nobody knows how to treat the Brahman cattle on open land better than the Territorians. And if they want to teach you their experience, they can't transfer that knowledge to Indonesia just like that, like an application. You can't buy it online and suddenly you're an expert. And that's something that many people in Indonesia may not know. And that's why only you, joining the 74 people that have been trained for weeks at a cattle station, are the privileged few. And please know that most people in Indonesia are still trying to figure out what to do, what industries to invest in, and what kind of business models to explore. So that's why one of the things that you, as have been trained for 6 weeks, you need to be ready to be the pioneers of establishing a new Indonesia breeding industry. You're all veterinarians, you'll be graduating soon, but is that enough? So don't feel like this is the end of your story. No, this is the beginning of your journey. And that's why I hope that you will work closely with Charles Darwin University or other universities in North Australia, maybe with TAFE or maybe some other organizations, to learn what it's like to actually breed cattle in Indonesia. And not only to work with the government, but to help the government find a way out. This is something that I myself, as the consul here, know it's going to take at least 10 years. And as I continue my task, I'm going to go to a different country, but the problem will always be there. And at the end, it's only you that have the exposure of this. So I encourage you to continue this cooperation. I'm very enlightened that NTCA will have a form of alumni association. The consulate will be there to participate. We are privileged to meet you, and we want to see you again maybe in October. We have to build this kind of association here. You're the future leaders. And so please come back to the consulate, please come back to Darwin. If you want to do another study, if you want to go to CDU to get some other programs, maybe the consulate can facilitate, maybe Professor Simon Maddox might give some scholarships, God knows, but he's smiling. But more importantly, this is what the future looks like.